Hello everyone, welcome to a new Flarum live stream. Flarum live coding. Let me see how many people we have live. Nobody. This is perfect. Okay. We will see. I expect some people to join later. I see. The preview is really bad quality, so let me just check how it looks in practice. Because I mean, YouTube tells me that the current data stream is not enough, but it says that the data flux is 0. So can't be 0. There is video, so there must be some data going through. Is it that bad? Not sure. Let me just check how it looks on my phone. No, on my phone it looks good. It must be full HD. Okay, never mind. Not sure what YouTube is telling me in the dashboard. Okay, so let's get started. Yes, and yes, there is sound. I checked in the live stream. Okay, so first I will just close a few more windows here. So let's go. So Discord, we don't need Discord. System monitor, we don't need. Okay, all good. Let me switch now to my screen. Okay, and I'm not centered in the square. Let's try to be in the correct place. Okay, so here's the thing. So this is not Flarum. So this is Flarum. So we want to implement some kind of mass actions for Flarum. And my inspiration is to basically copy how it's done in Gmail. That's the one I know the most about. So my idea is something like this. We have checkboxes for every discussion. We have a global checkbox to select everything, but you can also select only some of them. And then when you select some discussions, we want to show some actions. And in Gmail, we also have this nice thing. So instead of selecting all or nothing, you can also select everything that is not red, select anything that's red. And then you can also select what is followed, but here let's maybe just put follow on one of them. Now I can do either everything that's followed or anything that's not followed. So I think we will implement this kind of checkbox. And then we need to see what else we want, what actions we can put in the list. So by default, you have a button to mark everything red in Flarum. And oh, there is no tooltip. Is it normal that there is no tooltip? Okay, so there is an area label. Oh, there is no tooltip. Interesting. Okay, I thought there was some kind of tooltip, but okay, no. So we have the refresh all and we have the mark all as red. So in Gmail, we can see that those controls actually disappear to give place to the mass control. So there is also a mark all as red. I'm not sure if I can change the language. I'm not sure. So I'm leaving this window in French, but everything else is in English here. So yeah, my idea is to put the checkbox control here, and then we can hide at least this when you start selecting discussions. And maybe we can hide that as well. Yeah, maybe it's safer if we disable the refresh, because it might break everything if you refresh while you are selecting discussions. So yeah, now the question is, what actions can we put? Because Gmail has archive, mark as spam, delete, mark as non-read. We have, so those are specific to Gmail, put in the waitlist. Then we have those interesting things to select tags, or I mean, in Gmail you can select folders here, but I am thinking maybe we can do something similar with tags. And then here you have a drop down with the other things that don't have an icon, like mark as read and mark as non-read. Now in Flarum we don't have that many things because by default you don't have mark as spam. You can only flag posts, not discussions. You can mark as read, but you cannot mark as unread in Flarum by default. And then, oh, you can follow. Follow is one of the things we could put in Gmail. It's hidden here, follow discussion. So yeah, I think we will put an icon for each action still, and then we will see if we want to do something like Gmail with a drop down for other actions or not. Okay, let's see. Did anyone join live? No, we have. I don't know. There is a graph. The graph tells me that there is one person watching, but the counter is still on 0. So great. Now there are some other questions. So there is the UI. So yeah, like I said, we want to copy Gmail. There is just one question. Where do we put the checkbox? And my idea, actually, because this list is a bit dangerous to change. In Flarum, if you try to add something before the avatar, it's a mess. You can check the FOF gamification extension. It's a bit of a mess because it added the upvote and downvote control. So my idea to keep things simple is to put the checkbox in the place of the avatar. So it's a bit like you saw in the thumbnail. I don't have it here, but I think I want to keep the avatar, but when you hover the avatar, I want to show the checkbox instead. That way we don't need to create any new space for that control. We can just put it in this existing space. Then, so we will do it for discussions. The problem to do it with other things is like, we could then use the same kind of logic to make it for posts, but posts, where can we put a checkbox in posts? It's a bit of a mess. We could put it on the avatar, we could put it somewhere under, I'm really not sure. And then there is a question for users. Again, where can we put checkboxes for users? So by default, Flarum has this list of users here now. So we could actually put a checkbox here. That should not be a big issue. But if we want to put the checkboxes on the user directory page, I don't think I have it installed. It might be an issue as well because it's not a list. It's a grid. So not sure how we are going to do the checkboxes there. So first focus on the discussion list. That's the main. Oh no, I do have the user directory. Okay, so what? Oh no, I was confusing with something else. No, it's a list. It's a list. It's just not. It's just not a list that looks too much like this. It's a list that's with big squares. Not sure where we can put the checkboxes, but we can try. But first, discussions. Then there are some other questions. Who can see the checkboxes? Because technically, we could allow anyone to have the checkboxes, but maybe it's too much to show it to non-admins. So I'm thinking we will make a permission so that you can choose who can see the checkboxes. Just so regular users are not bothered by checkboxes if they cannot use most of the features it offers. Yeah, then there is the question about the API. How are we going to implement the mass action? So I think we will start by just using a loop. We will do it client side. So basically the client, the JavaScript, will take care of calling the API for every single discussion you select. So that way it's easier. We don't need to change anything in the backend. But the question is then, yeah, if you have many discussions displayed and you want to change all of them, there might be a benefit to implement a custom endpoint where you can ask for a mass action. But it's more complicated, it might not work with every kind of endpoint. There might be some problems, like how do you handle errors? Do we need to prefix each error with the title of the discussion that had an error? So yeah, first let's do it entirely client-side and then we can go from there. Then there is one more question about the UI is, what checkbox do we use? Because Flarum doesn't have a checkbox. This is a nightmare. Let me go to Flarum. So the confusing thing is that there is a component called checkbox. It's here. We have a checkbox. But okay, we can just see it here. What does it do? It shows a check or it shows a cross. And actually, where is it used? So we can see it. It's used in the settings. This is the checkbox component. But that's not going to work. I don't think it's intuitive enough. We need a checkbox. We need a real checkbox. We need a square with a check inside. Otherwise, it will be too confusing. So basically, we need a custom component to handle that. We could use a native checkbox from the browser. That's one option. But I think we will go with a custom icon from FontAwesome, because there is here a checkbox. So, where is it? I think we will use this one because it's more intuitive. Okay, so I think with that we have discussed every aspect we need to start. So I guess let's go. Which action did I fix? Which extension did I fix recently? Because I want to copy paste. I want to copy paste an extension. Just want to check. Yeah, here we have the new Webpack. So I'm just going to copy this. I prefer to copy paste an existing extension because unfortunately the Flarum CLI, it generates a lot of stuff I don't want. So I always need to delete it. So let's call this one mass actions. Then we can delete the folders we don't need. Yep, I think we are good. And then we can open it in here. Open, refresh, mass actions, and we will work in PHP Storm. Okay, yeah, something else that was discussed in the forum was, yeah, do we want this in core later? So yeah, I will not work on it as a pull request to core right now. I will create it as an extension. That way, it's a good way to troubleshoot and see if it works, if it doesn't work. That way people can try it, say what they like or don't like. And that way we will also be able to see if doing it in the client side, is it too bad? Do we need a server side endpoint as well? Yeah. And the other thing we can test with this extension is how can we make it extensible? Because it would be nice if we could have other extensions add their own mass actions. So yeah, we will see. Hello everyone, I see we are starting to get live viewers. Okay, so welcome. I recognize your avatar, but I just don't know how to pronounce your name. But hello from the chat. Yeah, so I have discussed kind of the requirements for the extension, and now I will start the work on it. So here I copy pasted some other stuff, but I'm not sure we will need the src folder. So for now, let's just delete the src folder. Let's rename this. So I copy pasted the other extension. So let's call it mass actions. Mass actions for discussions. Then we will require Flarum 1.2 because I'm not sure if the Webpack 5 is only for Flarum 1.2. So we will require Flarum 1.2. Then we can update this. We will add that later. Mass actions will be the namespace. Mass actions here as well. Do we have an icon? So is there an icon with multiple checkboxes? Maybe I can use the tasks icon. Yeah, let's use the tasks icon. So FAS, FA tasks. And here we can also remove the discussion link. We will update it later. Then extend, we can rename the namespace. We can remove most of the stuff. That we don't need. Remove this. We will probably need some less, so I will keep the file for the CSS. We will need translations. Yeah, most of the other stuff here we will need. We will not include any French translation. And in the JavaScript, so package name will be mass actions. We will use TypeScript. We will use the new Webpack 5. And I think we are pretty much good to go. Next, do we have any admin settings? Yes, we wanted a permission to check who can see the mass action. So we will update that later. But for now, I will just rename the namespaces everywhere to try to avoid any big mistake. Oh, we don't need that. We don't need that. Okay, and then on the forum side, rename the namespace. Drop everything that was in the extension I copy-pasted. Can also delete this. Yeah, think we are pretty good. Like this. Okay, let's get started. So, where do we start? Oh, there is another thing we have not discussed yet, is technically, how are we going? So we discussed visually, so we will put the checkboxes on top of the avatars. We will put some controls here next to or in place of the latest selector. Question is, how do we store the state? Because we need some state, like which discussions are currently selected. Where do we put that? Because we can store it in a global variable in the front end. We can store it on the page, on the discussion page, for example. Yeah, we have a lot of options on where we want to save it. But actually, there is another place we can store it, and that's what I want to use. We can use the current, how is it called? I don't know if it has a name. It might not even be documented. Is it documented? It's documented here, page state. So yeah, so I'm not exactly sure how it ties to the page components, but basically we will use this. We will use page state. But I don't think it's documented really in Flarum documentation. It's only documented in the upgrade guide. But basically, there is an object called app.current, which describes the current page. And we can set properties on that object. And one benefit of doing this is that if you go back and forth, this value will be recalled, I think. So that way, if you select discussions, but then leave the page and then come back to the page with the browser controls, then we might be able to recall the current set of selected discussions. And by doing it like this, one benefit over a global variable is that it will change per page, so it will not be preserved on other pages. And another benefit over storing it on the page class is that we can access it from anywhere. We don't need to pass it down from the page to where we do it. So anyway, let's do something. So maybe let's start with the most visual thing. Let's put first components where we want them. So let's put a component next to the latest, and let's put a checkbox here. Let's worry about the state later. Okay, so we will need to extend something. So first question becomes, what is the component that contains this? So I happen to know what it is. So let's see if autocomplete will work for me today. Nope. Okay, so autocomplete is not working apparently. So let's write it manually. I'm not sure how to make it work. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. So let's import index page from Flarum, forum, components, index page. Okay, next we can do index page.prototype, and here we can check the name of the functions, and one of the functions is called so I think action items is the whole list here, but then there is a specific function is there a specific function? Build an item list for the part of the toolbar that is about taking actions. Oh no, so there are two things. Okay, so action items is on this side, and view items are on this side. Okay, so technically we should be using action items from like a context. Here this is meant for the ability to sort, to change what is displayed, and action items is meant for things you can do. So we should be using action items probably for what we do, but visually it's not good. Visually we want them, at least the checkbox control, it must be on top here. So, or maybe we can put the checkbox control here, but then the actions could appear there. So right now we want the checkbox, so this one will go in view items actually. So we don't need to do it. So we do it like this. Next, second parameter is view items. Oh, it autocompletes. What? What? How is it able to do that? Extend. Whoa, whoa, that's really nice actually. The TypeScript is able to work this out. Nice. I think this is new because it was not working in previous Flarum version. So yeah, you might not grasp everything that's here, but basically I see that this typing tells TypeScript that the second parameter to the method must be one of the properties of the first parameter. So this means that anything that's on indexPage.prototype will be offered here. And it even means that the last parameter should be now type hinted. Is it true? Nice. But I wonder if it works correctly. You can see it guesses that this is an item list. So I wonder, does it work? So items dot. Wow, it works. Fantastic. Everyone update to Flarum 1.2. We now have typings for extend. I did not even know we had changed that. But that's nice. Okay. So this means I don't even need to type item lists anymore here in TypeScript. So let's just call it mass select for now, and let's use the drop down component. Yeah, so unfortunately the autocomplete is not happy today, so I will import manually. So let's import the drop down. Let's put the drop down here. And did we also fix the typings here? Nice, we fixed the typings on components as well. Perfect. All my worries are going away now. Because in previous Flarum version, if you didn't pass a second parameter to component.component, it would not be happy. But actually we need something here. So let's put an icon. So we need to import icon as well. So import icon from helpers icon, and icon will be FAS or FAR, FA square. I think it's 1. Okay, let's see. Oh no, it's not like this in a drop down. So how does it work? Or is it? Don't even remember how the children work. Or maybe it works like this. Let's try. So we need to compile it as well. Yeah, let's not forget to compile. So I already, because I copied another extension, I already have node modules. Otherwise, you would have to use yarn install first to install the dependencies. But here I already did that, so I can just do yarn dev to get the watch script. Yeah, that, yeah, I see the comment. Yeah, if you don't use TypeScript, unfortunately, the IDE might not be able to give autocomplete. But if you install, if you do like in a PHP Storm at least, if you have the composer requirement here, and you do composer require in your extension folder, it will create the vendor folder. And then PHP Storm is able to find the TypeScript files of Flarum inside of here. And it can provide some autocomplete even if you don't use TypeScript, because it can see the files exist there and it uses the files. So it doesn't always do the correct suggestions because it cannot be sure that this is what you want, but it can provide some autocomplete. But then yes, if you want full autocomplete, you need an IDE with TypeScript support, and you need to register the TypeScript path here with tsconfig. Yeah, but otherwise it's not required. You can absolutely do Flarum extensions without TypeScript, but I like it because of the autocomplete and because of the type checks. So now the watch script is running. Next step, we want the extension in here. So let's go to my folder, Flarum 1.2, composer, require, my name, my extension name, so mass actions, and do it like this to install from the workbench folder. Doesn't match. Oh yeah, I need @dev. Yeah, okay, like this. Okay, now it's installed. Refresh admin panel. Mass actions, enable. And okay, so this was copied from the other extension, so let's not worry about it right now. Let's go to front end, refresh, and yes, we see the checkbox. Okay, yeah, so it went as a child. So let's just put it. So I need to know the name of the attribute, but that part is currently not in TypeScript. So how is it called? I need to go to the implementation. So dropdown dot. Is it called dropdown.js? Yes. Okay, so I guess it's label. So let's let's use label, and label will be my icon like this. And let's put a class name, because I guess we need a class name. So is it drop down? What's happening now? Oh, maybe I don't have, because I just recently added Flarum 1.2. Maybe I'm not in development mode. Let's check that real quick. Okay, I was not in debug mode. Okay, so it will be much better if we are in debug mode. Okay, refresh the page. Okay, so now we have the checkbox in the correct place. But what do we need to see the drop down? Button group drop down. We need to specify it every time. Oh no, it has button group drop down, drop down. So why doesn't it look like a drop down? What's going on? It has the same classes as the other one, so is it the but? Oh yeah, maybe it's just the button itself. Drop down toggle, and okay, so I guess I need button class name. I'm not sure why this isn't done by default, but maybe I need to do it like this. Refresh. Okay, now it's looking like the correct thing. Okay, and we can put it at the start. So let's put priority minus 100 maybe. Or maybe it's the opposite. We need to put a big number. What's going on? Oh, I'm not in the correct place. Okay, so priority minus 100. No, still not that. So is it a positive this time? I never know if... Okay, positive puts me more to the left. Okay. So, yep, let's keep it like this for now. And oh, I feel like we will have some issues. Yeah, but let's worry about that later, because like, how are we going to click the checkbox which is inside the button? Because the button triggers the drop down, so we need a split drop down, like Gmail. And Flarum doesn't have a split drop down, or does it? Oh, no, there is a split drop down, because when you are in a discussion, we have a split drop down. Except I think it's not a real component. I think it's a hack, maybe. Oh yeah, we will see. So we will need a split drop down, but let's worry about that a bit later. Hello, hello. Oh, I never know how to pronounce your name either. But hello everyone. I'm not sure why you couldn't build with GitHub Actions. I'm not using GitHub Actions myself, so I'm not sure, but all the Flarum extensions now use... Oh, but actually I don't know if we have any Flarum extension, any core extension that uses TypeScript. Not completely sure. Maybe there is something there. Maybe there is a problem with the actions. I'm not sure. Let's put the other checkbox above the username now. So this one is a bit more complex because there is no simple way to extend just this part. So we need to extend all of this. So we need the discussion list item. So discussion list item, import this one. Next we can do extend.prototype, and okay, so then we should be able to autocomplete from here. Nice. Okay, so which one do we need to extend? So we can extend info items, we can extend reply count items. The problem is that I don't think there is anything we can extend here. We are stuck. We are stuck with editing the DOM directly. So let's just go to the implementation. So is it a JS file? Okay. Let's see. So this is a template inside of the view method. And the avatar, so what do we have? So we have a div, we have some attributes here, we have the controls. Then we have a span. So this first element is what ends up here. Then this is a special thing that only appears on mobile, so we don't see it. Then this is the actual container here. Then we have a block with tooltip, and then the avatar is inside a link inside of the tooltip. And there is no simple way to replace this. So we will need to go inside of the view output and modify the virtual DOM directly. So yeah, that's not the nicest thing, and we don't have a utility to do that right now, but we will do it the hard way. So extend view, then we will have some virtual DOM output. Oh wow, the automatic typings are quite long there. Okay, but we have the virtual DOM. And then, so virtual DOM is, we are inside of here. I think this is this object. So then we need to loop through the children and find this element. So vdom.children.forEach, and then we can do again vdom. Is TypeScript happy? I'm surprised it works. Oh, it typed it as any. Okay, so that's why it's not complaining. Not sure. So yeah, for now let's just try to make this work. So next we look for if I can go back here. So we are looking for this div inside of the children here. So we are looking for this class name. So what we will do is check, is there a vdom? Are there attributes in the vdom? Is there a class name attribute? And is the class name, does the class name contains this? And if it does, then we repeat. We loop through the children. So now we are looking at those children. Now we are looking for the tooltip. But the tooltip is not a class name, it's a component name. So to find a component in the virtual DOM, now we need to do if vdom and vdom.tag, and we can check, is the tag the tooltip? So we need to import the tooltip, and we can check if this vdom is a tooltip. Now, that's kind of the question. Do I put it inside of the tooltip? Or maybe I can just put it outside of the tooltip, because it will be an absolute position anyway, I think. So maybe I don't need to go that deep. I can just insert it here. vnode dot children dot push. Maybe I can just do it like this. Then I can have mass select, and I can put my icon inside of this element. maybe let's just try to do it like this, but not push. Let's do a shift, so it's at the start. Doesn't really matter if it's at the start or of the end if we are going to use absolute position, but yeah, okay, so now I have my square here, so let's try to put it at the correct place with CSS. So let's do position absolute. Let's maybe take a look at the CSS for the avatar. So avatar, it has where is it? Oh, it's author. Okay, author. So this one has, oh no, it's a float. It's a float. Oh no. So I cannot just copy paste the code. Okay, I need absolute position. So let's do just 10 pixels and left 10 pixels for now. Let's see where it goes. Okay, looks not too bad. Okay, so maybe you can do 15 and 15. Okay, that's not really centered, but yeah, we're not going to worry about that too much. For now, let's just have it roughly where we want. I think it might be below the the badge, but not a big problem. Okay, now let's make that square bigger. So let's do mass select control, and mass select control will be the class name I add to all the icons. So let's add this class to this and to this for now. Next, I will hardcode the font size to 20 pixels, and I will change the color, maybe, to be gray. Oh, Gmail. Gmail actually has other colors as well. Oh yeah, when you hover, it has a different color. Oh yeah, so for now, I guess let's just hardcode the colors. So let's put some kind of gray for this. But then if we do hover, I will put another color just to see how it looks. Let's refresh this. Okay. Yep, that's nice. Okay. Next, let's just fix this again. Okay. So now we have the style. Okay. How should I do it now? So I think I need this to be accessible somehow with the keyboard, because otherwise it's not going to work well. So I could make it a button or a link. What is Google using? Is it using an actual checkbox? Ah, but can I go with inspect? What is Google using? Probably I might not even be able to see it correctly. Oh, it's just a div. Interesting. But they use the role. Oh, you cannot access it with tab? But I want it to be accessible with tag in my case. Oh, did I select the correct thing? Oh, it has the grab icon. Oh, on both sides. Okay. Okay, so I guess I will use this as well then. But let's create a component. So let's create a new component. Let's call this one checkbox. Export default class checkbox extends component. Let's import component from Flarum common component. Then we can have view. We can actually put some attributes here. Let's see if it works. So interface checkbox attributes. Can put state. State is a boolean, and then I can do return. And here I can use the icon. So let's choose the icon like this. Icon, and icon will be FAS, and then maybe I can put this at the start, and then I can check vnode.attribute.state. No, not vnode, this. Does it work like this? No, it doesn't work. Oh, no, it doesn't work because I didn't do it here. Okay, like this. But I think I need, extend component attributes. If I do it like this, yes, it works. Okay, and then here we will have check square, otherwise just square. Okay, so now I have my custom component, and I can use my component in the two places here. So let's do checkbox.component state false, and I can do the same above here. So label will be state false. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so it still looks the same, except I must have messed up the icon name. FAR. Okay. Like this. Perfect. Next step. We want an onChange. So how can I do it actually? So can I do something like this? Onclick. And then I can just bind. Okay, so that's the thing here. I think I will use a div. And then I can put the click handler on the div. Do it like this. I can call it onChange actually. onChange. Perfect. Next, I can do on. Okay, so this one doesn't work. I don't have autocomplete here, but that's fine. So now I can handle the change of click. Oh, there is some margin that got in there. What happened? I guess there is some margin on the icon. Let's go change the style. So let's do line height 0. Okay, so that way it's back where it was. Okay. Next step, or maybe I can just use one. Okay, it works as well with one. Okay, so let's keep it to 1. Now, okay, so yeah, let's do something when you click on it. So, so this means we need to handle the state thing. So let's create a component to hold the state. So maybe we can create a namespace just called utils, and then I can create a file, and it will be select state. Okay, and now I can do export default class select state, and here we will have let's just have a function called toggle, which will take a model, and this is where we can have some nice logic here. So let's have a variable that will just be IDs. So I can do it like this maybe. Next we can say that we have t extends. So here we are going to use some TypeScript features to help us make the code more reliable. So Flarum has model classes for each element. So like discussion extends model. So what we are actually going to do is this state class will be able to handle different kind of models. But actually you say which model when you create the class. So we say this class has a t variable of models, so that way anything that extends model can be used. And it means that now when you call toggle by passing a model of this type, what I can do is first I can have a method. So I can have a function called contains, and this one will return this.ids.indexOf, and I will take the model ID. So there is a function ID on all models, and I can just check, is there something like this in my array here? Now, why is there an error? Okay, so I just need to say that I know it's not undefined. Or I mean, it shouldn't matter if it is undefined. Maybe I can just do it like this. So let's look for this ID in the list. And now here I can do something similar. So toggle, I can do if this.contains model, then I will do this.ids equals this.ids.filter. Or maybe I can just do the unshift. Oh, okay, let's do it something like this. Let's do index of. This will return this. Yeah, let's do it like this. Index of model returns the index. So now I can just do this is this.index of model is different from 1. And here what I can do is actually do const index equals index. And then if index is -1, then I can do push ids dot push model dot id. But yeah, there will be a problem as well here. So it's like, yeah, what what do I do if I call with a model that doesn't have an ID? That's a bit of a problem. So maybe I can throw an error for this. If there is no ID, I don't know if it can happen, but throw or maybe I can just do. Let's keep it short. It should probably not happen, but Yeah. Okay, let's do it like this. And then if otherwise we do this.ids dot splice, and we can do index 1. Okay. So now we have the state. Next, we put the state in the page state, like I said previously. So what we are going to do is extend index page. We are going to extend onInit. Actually, does it work? Or should I use onCreate? Because onInit is called before the page is actually rendered. So let's see. Let's see if we can see an example. So where is it called? app.current.get app.current.set. Okay, so that's the one I wanted to check. So current.set, where is it called? In show. Okay, so show can be called from onInit. Or can it? This.load load calls show. Not sure if it is safe to do it like I want. Maybe it's safer if I use onCreate. Let's use onCreate just to try. Next, I can do app.current.set. And this is where, so I can do mass select. And I can do new select state. And here I can pass discussion. Oh, but the typings will be all messed up. Yeah, the typings will not work, so it's not that useful that I did my nice yeah, it's a bit useless to have my typing like this because I'm going to hardcode the typings anyway. Yeah, because the idea now is that here, what I'm going to do is do state equals get this, so get the app.current mass select, and then I will do state dot contains, and here I need access to the discussion, so discussion list items, discussion is accessible through this.h.discussion, so let's do it like this. If it contains no, yeah. At the beginning of the stream, I was praising the typings that were improved, but actually they are still not improved enough. Here you can see that TypeScript is complaining that attributes is only meant to be used by that class and classes that extend that class. But we are actually kind of extending that class. We are just using the monkey patch function to do it. So TypeScript is not happy about us accessing the attributes, but it's definitely how it's supposed to work. So yeah, there is still some work to be done to have the typings perfect. But it is correct. for what I want to do. And then here we can do state.toggle this discussion. Problem is, this is not type hinted. State is not type hinted. So can I type hint that? How can I type hint that? But because here I could do it like this. I could do that, and it will work. But I need to do it every time I call the function. It's not really nice. It would be good if I could type hint that in TypeScript. And the nice thing is that it is actually possible. So I think it's doable. Let me do that. So what we are going to do is use the shims file to declare a new typing on something. So I think I need to do it like this. I need to import so current, is it a class? app.current is a page state. Okay, can I import page state? Where is page state defined? Export default class. Yeah, let's try to do this. So actually import page state from Flarum common state page state. Yes, I can import it. Okay. So then I can export the module. No, I need just to do module. How is it? Declare. Okay, I think it's something like this. Declare module. Then I can do export default interface page state. And next I can redefine the get function to return a select state. Oh, I cannot do the difference between the different types. Okay. Yeah, that my typing is not really useful. My T typing is not useful. So let's just drop this. Let's just do model everywhere because I think it's good enough. Yeah, it's good enough for what I want to do. Okay, so let's just do it like this. Can drop this. Can drop this as well. Okay, but now, okay, so now we still don't have the typings. We need to finish the shim file. Okay, so get return select state. But that's not the correct definition here. I need to have get key. And so how does it work here? Or is it something like this? Don't know how we write it. Let me do a check. TypeScript augment method definition with string value. Is it something like this? Is it? Oh, maybe it's like this. What happens now? If I go back here, it works. It works. So, yeah, what you can see here is that this is the definition. So when you call when I call app.current.get, by default, this is what Flarum has registered for the types. So you can see that this.current will be a page state, and then get, you see it takes a parameter key and nothing is defined. So basically key is any and return value is any. And what I did in my shims file is that I said to my extension, to my TypeScript here, that when this class is called, if get is called with key value mass select, then the return type is select state, which is my own class. And this overrides this code, but it doesn't override if I do something else here. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. So you can see that now when I do get here, I get select state, but when I do get here, I get any. So that way I overrode only this. So yeah, in my extension, I will probably only use it for this, but if I was calling get from other code in Flarum, then this way it's not impacted. Okay, but anyways, however, this one is a bit of a mess. We don't know how to solve this one to remove the warning, because it works. It's just there is a warning. Yeah, let's just see if it works. It's been a while since we went to the forum. Let's refresh. Okay, so nothing is happening when I click on the checkbox. So let's do something else. Let's do a log of the change. And something else I'm thinking about is that I need to add my role checkbox here, just so the browser might like it better. Refresh. Okay, so change is being called, but nothing is happening. Now let's go to toggle. Let's call it toggle, call model, and log this.ids. Okay, let's do it like this, just to see what is happening. Okay, toggle. And we can see the array of IDs contains 1. So, okay, now it contains 1 and 2. Okay, so there must be a problem here. This dot index of model. Why would that not work? Contains discussion. Okay, so maybe the problem is not. Maybe the problem is in the component, not in the. Maybe the problem is not here. Let's go in the component and let's log this. Let's see what the value of state is. Okay, false, 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 false. Okay, so there are 4 checkboxes, but we have 5 logs. Not sure why. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, so it's still false everywhere, so that's not good. Where is the problem? Maybe we need a redraw. Is there? No, because it was. Oh no! Now you can see when I click here, it's not big, but you can see the number. Right now we have 13 logs. You can see that when I click, I get 14 logs. But there are 4 checkboxes on the page. So if everything was being redrawn as it should, we would have 4 more logs. But since we only have 1 more log, it means it must be this one that's redrawing and not these ones. So I think we have the discussion list item must have a subtree renderer. Okay, so we need to override the subtree renderer. So To change this, we need to extend onInit. So let's extend onInit. Then I can do this dot subtree. Oh, it's not index page, it's discussion list state. Then I can do subtree dot check. And here I add a callback, and the callback will call this. So dot contains this dot discussion. So every time a redraw will happen, we will ask Flarum to check if this variable changed, and if it did, we want to redraw the discussion list item. So let's try that. Yes, now we have a checkbox. What I will do is do it like Google and use an inverted checkbox. So let's go back to the checkbox, and here, yeah, basically let's just change completely the icon every time. So FAS, FA check square, and FAR, FA square. So now, okay, good. And what I can do as well is to add a class name here to say if it is checked. Let's do it like this, checked. And that way I can change my style to use the same style when it's hover and when it's checked. Let's refresh. Nice. Okay, so now the checkboxes are kind of working. Whoop. Get is undefined. Yeah, so that's a problem. So yeah, so maybe we need to use onInit here anyway. So let's try with onInit. Oh, what's going on now? Why is it still calling the function? Not sure about this. What I can change is that, yeah, maybe I should change the typing. Typing shouldn't be that, it should be that. Or maybe, how do I write it again? Write it like this. It might be undefined if we are on a different page. So now I can rewrite it. Like this. So here I use the interrogation mark, so that way TypeScript, or more like the compiler, will automatically replace this with state, with a, I think it will use a ternary operation to check is state a value, and only if it is a value then call contains. But here I use the exclamation mark because I know that when this code runs, this will always exist. So I tell the compiler that, okay, don't worry about the possible undefined, just keep that code. So basically in the final code, it will be like this, just without the exclamation mark. It's just for TypeScript to know that, yeah, no problem. But actually, I don't even know if maybe here I could use that as well. It's here that it might be undefined. Let's try this. Oh no, it still crashes. T.state is undefined. What? Oh, okay, so this still happens. Don't know why is that code running? Oh, I think I know why that code is running. It's because of the drawer. Oh no, no, the drawer will mess things up completely. Because you can access the discussion list here as well, and it will mess up every single thing. Because here we don't want the checkboxes. I'm not sure how to remove those ones. Maybe I can just do the check here. If maybe something like this, I can check. Will this work? And then here I can say that this always exists. Let's try this. Suspense. Okay, no error here. Oh, so that's why I had an error here. The Subtree renderer runs every time this component is used, and I was assuming that the component was only used on the home page, but that's not the case. It's used in the drawer on the discussion page. So yeah, so here I have the interrogation mark. That way, so this function basically it can return three things. It can return undefined if we are not on the home page. It can return true, or it can return false based on the call to that function here on the state class that I made. So yeah, and then the subtree check, what it does is it calls a function, then it keeps in memory the last return value, and then every time it's called again, it checks if the value has changed or not. So yeah, that should be good enough. Next. So I can close this. Another thing I was wondering is the background. Because I want a white background here. But I'm not sure it's actually going to work well. Maybe, how can I call this? So maybe, so discussion, maybe I should call this discussion list items mass select. Where is it? So discussion list item, or just select. Let's call it select for now. And what I'm going to do here is change the styling now to something a bit different. So so let's do it like this. Position absolute, but we are going to change things here. Now we are going to give it the same styling as avatar. So what is the size of the avatar? 36 pixels. Should I reuse the class? I don't know. It's probably not worth it. So let's just do width 36 pixels, height 36 pixels, background. For now, let's just put white. So same as avatar. And we want a border. Yeah, I don't know if it is necessary to make it round, because we are not going to see the difference really. So display flex, align items center, align content center. What if I do it like this? Then I can do 5 pixels and 5 pixels. Yeah, that's not good enough. Top, let's do 10 pixels. It's not looking like it has the correct size. No, it doesn't have the correct size. What did I do? I messed up the height. Okay. New try with a real size circle this time. So can I put it exactly above the avatar, or is it going to be a pain? It's probably going to be misaligned. Okay, it's kind of aligned. I wonder if it stands up to perfect pixel scrutiny. Not sure. So left is exactly 0 and top is 13. Okay. Okay, let's refresh, see. Okay, now I just want the checkbox centered, so I must have messed up something here. So I think it's justify, maybe justify content center. I'm using flex positioning to center the checkbox inside of the circle. I think it's mostly okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to call that good enough. Now there is just one more problem. Is how do we show it only when we hover the discussion? Because I don't want to do it like Google here. The difference I want is I still want the avatar by default. So what I can do is take this, and on hover I can do this, display flex, and here I can do display none. Now you can see the checkbox appears, but only when we go above the discussion. So that's all good, except it disappears even when checked, but we want to keep it when checked. So now we have another problem. How do we add a class? We need some kind of class to tell us that it's selected. So problem is we cannot read the state of the checkbox because the checkbox is inside of the element we want to display. But there is actually another point that we have not done yet, is when you select something in Google, the whole line becomes highlighted, and I think we want that effect as well. So it will be beneficial to add the class to the discussion list element itself. And I think there is a way to do that pretty easily. So let's go back to the discussion list items. So we have this element attributes. So we can extend this and we can add a new class. Oh, there might even be a function for class. No. Okay, so let's extend this. Where is it? So discussion list item. Okay, let's copy this. Extend element attributes. And then we can do can do if this, then attributes dot class name plus equals, and here we can do okay, how are we going to call this? Yeah, let's call it selected. Don't think we need to put the mass select every time, because I can't see really another use case. If another extension does the same thing, then it's probably not going to be used as the same time as this. And if we assume that maybe this gets to core sometime, then we might as well keep the class names simple. So now let's update the code. So where is it? Here. So next we can do this. Display flex. Don't know if I want to merge those two together. Yeah, maybe let's merge them together because it's a bit more logical maybe. Let's put it in this order. Okay. But then we want the special styling, so background, and now it's kind of the question, what is a good background for a selected discussion? It shouldn't be the same as the hover background, I guess. But is it too much if I use a primary color? It feels like it would be a bit too much. But maybe let's do it anyway. So what is a variable for the primary color? So variables.less. Let's go find the file. We have config primary color. Yeah, let's use primary color. Let's try that. I think it might be a bit too crazy. Background. Okay, now it's spelled correctly. Let's check this out. Okay, check. I mean, yeah, that's the problem, is that we cannot read the text. But otherwise, it actually looks quite nice. In Google, yes, it has priority, the hover. Yeah, we need to change the hover. We need to, maybe like this priority will be enough. Okay, good enough. Oh, it's even animated already. There is a transition. I guess core already has a transition for the background color. Okay, this is really nice. There is still a problem with the index here. We can see the checkbox is behind that. So maybe we can do z index above badges. Okay, that's good. Why is that one a different color? Oh, it's because it's deleted. Oh, so everything is faded. Oh, we don't notice. What? Yeah, I don't know if. How is the deleted effect? Oh, okay, the opacity is only on the content. Okay, so I guess we will cancel that. So let's. No, it's this. Opacity 1. Cancel effect. Cancel deleted effect because it shifts our checkbox colors. Okay. Okay, so it took a long time to get here. We are not going to be able to do that much in the end in this live stream, but yeah, I'm going to do one more half an hour at least. So okay, I think that's good enough. Here it's not really good looking because checkbox is a oh, maybe I can put it here. Yeah, maybe let's put the Z index only there. That way it only happens. Lol. What's going on? Why is it happening now as well? Maybe it's not a good idea to mess with the Z index. Oh no, that's because I grouped everything. Yeah, never mind. Okay, I'm going to move this. Okay, so now it only comes above the badges when you actually try to go for the checkbox. That way you can still see the badges, because the problem of course is that if you have multiple badges, then you will start to not see them any longer. It's not the most good looking thing, but I guess at least usability is kept as best as it can that way. Yeah, now let's try to make this work. So, oh, and I'm starting to get really in the dark. Is it spooky yet? Hey, there's spooky ambience, but maybe I will go and turn on the other light. Yeah, just wait a second. I will go and turn on some more lights. I will put the break screen, but I will be back in just a few seconds. Don't worry. Okay, I'm back with more light. Yep. How do I? I'm never aligned with my camera. Yeah, let's continue. So I see we have had a few people coming and going, but oh, now we have again 2 people watching. Welcome back, or welcome. Yeah, we are still working on the checkbox. Basically the checkbox. Like, how are we going to make this select component actually work? So yeah. Maybe the checkbox, the area you can click for the checkbox should be bigger, I guess. But yeah, let's already do it simple, and we can always improve this later. Now let's make the the select all control work. That's going to be a challenge. So first, let's make this into a split drop down. Problem is, we don't have a component for split drop down, I think. So let's go to discussion page in Flarum and see how it's done. Oh, there is a component. So we can use the component then. Nice. So let's try this. Let's go back here. Can replace drop down with split drop down. Um, hmm. What is that? Accessible toggle label. Okay, so that's not what I want. But where? Oh, I think the split drop down takes the first. Oh, okay. So the first child is displayed. Okay, okay. So how do we make the children now? For the so here we have controls dot to array. Okay, so let's try to do this properly. So we will have controls, which will be a new item list. So I need to import item list after all. So let's import item list, new item list. Then we will have a new element called, but let's just call it select. And here that element will be the checkbox. Okay, so like this. Maybe we don't need this one. Not really sure. We will see. So I'm going to comment this out, and I can do controls dot to array. Okay, let's try this. Let's see if I have my split drop down. Okay, so we are not quite there yet. No, it's not here. Controls. We can. Why can we customize all of that? Do I need to specify an icon? No. How does the split drop down work? Or maybe I need to have more than one? Let's try a few more things. Okay, so let's import button. Select all. Yeah, let's try to do like this. See what happens. Oh, okay, so now this part works. Okay, so we just have a problem here. Does it have to be a button? Oh, maybe that's the problem. The first element has to be a button. Oh, okay, okay. So how am I going to do this without a button? So split drop down. Where is the code? First child. It creates a button with the same children as. Okay, so it assumes that this will be a button. And what if I don't want a button? I could put my checkbox inside of a button. The problem then is that the behavior of the, if I use the on, or maybe I can skip the the onChange. Yeah, I guess let's do it like this. So let's just, yeah, let's use checkbox inside of a button. Yeah, let's do it like this. It's just a bit confusing because the checkbox only highlights there, but we are going to use the on-click here, I guess. Or we could also ignore the click outside, but it's better if we do it like this. Okay, now. What we are going to do? So we have, I think we can do two functions already. So we can do select all and we can do unselect all. So unselect all is pretty easy because we just need a function that will drop everything. So you can just do it like this. Clear removes all of the IDs in our state. And now what we can do here is do this, not this, app.current.get mass select.clear. I can do it like this. And we should be good to go. The problem is, how the hell do we select all? Because we cannot just tell the app to select all. We need a list of IDs. So we need to extract the list of IDs from the page. So let's now see what we have access in index page. So basically we want all the discussions that are currently displayed on the index page. We don't want all the discussions that are in the store. But yeah, I think we will use the app.current as well. We will go to the discussion object. Now the question is, what is the type of the discussions object? I guess it's one of the state classes as well. So let's see if we can find. No, it's not here. Where are the discussions initialized? App.discussions. Oh no, this has nothing to do. This is to get a specific discussion, not a list of discussions. So everything is inside of app.discussions global object. Okay, so this one is probably already type hinted. Let's just let's go back to here. So app.discussions dot what are we going to use? I think we are going to have to loop through everything. Get pages. Then we have access to a page. Then what do we have? Page dot items dot for each discussion, and then and then we can do the app.current dot get dot add okay. Now we need new methods. We need an add function. to add the discussion to the list. So let's go back here. Let's create an add function. Model. Then we'll add this check. Then we will check if I can do this. And I can check if it doesn't already exist. And then we are going to push the ID in the list. Okay, so I can do it like this. Now, yeah, that's fine, I guess. I don't even need to check if there are already stuff inside. I could call clear to clear the list before adding everything. But why would it matter since I already check every time I add something? So I think it's fine like this. Now this code should not be there. It should be a function. So select all discussions. Like this. Then I can call this function from here. No, actually from here. But that's the thing here. I need to call inside of the main checkbox. I need to call it only if nothing is selected. So I need another function. I need to know if anything is selected. So I will add a new function called just count. I think. How is it done in Gmail? So when you it unselects. Okay, or maybe I can just call it empty. So maybe is empty. Return this.ids.length equals 0. Okay, do it like this. I can even say that it's a boolean. Maybe I can type hint those as well, but yeah. Let's do it like this for now. Okay, and now the check that I can do is if. So if this function, so if app.current.get dot is empty, so if it is empty, then we call select all, otherwise we call clear. Okay, let's try this. Okay, select something else. Okay, fine. Now let's click here. Okay, it selected everything. Click again and selects everything. And if I select one, I click, then selects again. Great, perfect. Now we need to change this checkbox to show something. I hate the fact that it does that. Maybe I will not use the component for that. Not really sure how to do it. Oh no, I can put this on. So that class doesn't have any margins, I think. Where is it? No, okay, so what I can try to do is put that class name on the button. Okay, so let's go back to this. Okay, so let's do class name. We put that on the button. And then in instead of using this, I will use icon, and then I will do a check here. So, oh no, there is another problem. I want to do like Gmail. I want to have a different icon. I want to have 3 different icons here. I want to have the unselect, I want to have the partially selected, and I want to have the all selected. But again, the problem is, how do we know that everything is selected? So maybe we need the count after all. So let's just change the code. So let's go back to this. Let's do count, and it will return a number. Number will be the length. Okay, now I can do a check here. So if count is 0, we select everything, otherwise we clear. Now the difference is with the icon. So let's do it like this. This will be the default icon, but then we check if let's do it like this. Count equals this value. Then if count is greater than 0, we do something. And then here we will do we can do it. So if count is equal to how do we know how many discussions there are in here? Up.discussions dot. How do we know the length? Discussion list state. Can we know how many discussions there are? Oh, but there is a function get. How does that work? Get all items, but that one is protected. Is there no way to know? Oh, but it extends another class, so maybe here we have some stuff. Can we know how many items we have? Yeah, we have has items. This one is protected. I cannot count the items. Okay, so I need to browse all the pages to know how many. Okay, never mind. Dot get pages dot. Let's just do reduce, and then we will do a page dot items dot length plus like this, total plus total 0. Yeah, that's not good enough. What? Okay, it's not written correctly. Like this. What now? Items does not exist on what? Reduce. No, but that's not. Oh, okay, so it's the opposite. Okay, so like this. Okay, and here we use the, I think there is the exact same icon. Let's just check in the documentation. I think there is I think there is a minus square icon. Yes, perfect. Okay, so we can do the same. Now, let's see if it works. Refresh the form. Great, we broke everything. Icon is not a function. Are you kidding me? Oh, it's because... Yeah. Of course, if I write a variable that's named icon, then it shadows the name of the function. Okay, I should have kept my old code. You can see the checkbox appears, but that's just because I messed up. Of course, the count is 0 and is equal to the 0 total. No, wait, there are discussions, so it cannot be. Yeah, but yeah, basically, so okay, so that's not the problem, but there could be a problem. If there are 0 discussions, this code will run. So let's just go back to my original ID. So let's just check if there is something selected, and then we do the check between total here. Let's do it like this. Okay, now let's try. Select one. Nothing happens. Select everything. It's not working. What's going on now? Let's just try to log the count. Okay. Okay, so one of those things should execute, and nothing happens here. Did I wrote the code in the wrong place? No, the icon is here. There is no longer a checkbox component. I hope it's not a problem with Flarum and the split dropdown. I'm worried that it might be Flarum that is not picking the change in the attributes. Let me go back to the source code. Split dropdown. How does it work? So when get button is called, it gets the first child, then it copies the first child dot attributes, it adds some class names, and then initializes this button. Okay, so far so good. So my icon is somewhere inside of children, so it's not touched. Now the question is, when is this called? So get button. Get button is called here. So it should redraw. It should redraw. Let's try something else. Let's log the icon name, just to see if it correctly changes. So let's remove that. Go back to this, refresh. Okay. Okay, so it becomes minus. Okay, so there is a redraw issue. The code is working. The problem is with the redraw. So the icon here changed. Why is it not picked up? Now, question I always have with something like that is there can I see if there is a problem somewhere else in Flarum? To see if it's a bug with Flarum, but oh no, here actually there is a redraw. When you change the follow dropdown, you you change the content of the button. So that's an example, but I think this is going to be a dead end, because if I go to Flarum, no, not approval, it's subscription. I think I will be in a dead end, because I think they are not, I think this extension is not actually using the split button component. Let me check. This is the split. This is the fake split dropdown used in subscription. So it's not a good example, because it rewrites its own button. And that's what I was hoping to avoid to have to do. Now I'm worried. Is it a problem with Flarum that I cannot change the children of the split? How can I? I'm not able to go back where I want. Okay. Where is it? Oh, okay, I wanted to come back here, but how can I test this to check if the problem is Flarum? Because, okay, so the on-click is definitely working. Now, yeah, maybe let's try something else. Let's just put the count as the children. Let's just try this. So it says 0. Nope, so that works. Okay. So the problem is with icon? Or is it because it's an object that's returned as what is going on? Or is it a problem with the icon name? FAR. Let's just put this by default just to see if the icon renders. Okay, so the icon is able to render, so that's not the problem. And actually here I could put yeah, there was the checked thing, so let's just add that as well. So class name here, and I can add so count is greater than 0, then we will add the checked class. That way, this is just for styling. This is so, oh, but we will see it. So it's a button. Missing a space. So that way it gets the selected color. Okay, so we can see that part works as well. So it's just a problem with the icon. Why are you not working, icon? Is it because of some mithril oddity or what? Icon.js. Where are you defined, my dear icon function? Where is it? I cannot find it. Is it a TS file? Okay, it's a TS file. X icon.classname. But it just returns that. Why will it not work? Let's try something else. Let's try this time. Let's try a span with the icon name inside. Let's see if that works better. Okay, so that doesn't work either. Okay. So I guess there is a problem as soon as there is an object, because if I put just the icon name, this would probably work because it worked before with... Okay, so this works, but when I put an object, it no longer works. Great. So it must be something to do with this implementation. How can I fix that? Because here it makes a copy. Is that the problem? No, because... Oh, no, but children is passed. Oh, yeah, children is passed as a parameter, so this might be where things go badly. vnode children. Oh, but it takes the children for the view, so it must be up to date. It's not copied anywhere. There is something odd going on. Something must be cached somewhere, but... I see there is some stuff here. Oh, but that's on drop down, sure. How does that work? Get menu, items. I'm a bit stuck with this. Not sure why it's not working. I don't see anything in the code that copies the children or keeps a copy of anything. I don't see anything that manages the rewrites. The get button function seems to be called every time the drop down is redrawn. So I'm not sure why this would be copied or... Oh yeah, not sure what's going on. What else can I do? Icon name. Or maybe that's no, it should update. Let's try another thing. So let's put a name. Let's put again. So if I put the icon name in a span, we saw that it was no longer updating. Okay, it's no longer updating. Let's try maybe to put a key on the span to force the creation of a new vnode. Oh no, it's that Ah, it had been a while since I saw that issue. No. So I saw that happen before. You can see that every time it retros, it adds a new thing at the end. So this means that there is probably, so it must be something to do with jQuery. Because if it messes up the Flarum redraw, so what do we see here? We have a button label. Oh, but we have a list. No. What? Okay, no, so this is the drop-down select. Then we have this button. Let's see where something new appears. No, it seems like, look, the class name seems to be working fine, but it adds a new span every time. Why does it do that? Button label. That part is managed by the button. I remember seeing that problem before, but it was something. It must be something with the drop downs, because I think I remember a problem with this thing where you could do a something and it will say latest. It will duplicate the text. Let me just check if the issue still exists. Oh, I don't see it. I was wondering if I had created an issue for this. Yeah, I have an issue for something else, but I don't see. I don't see a GitHub issue for this. But yeah, I saw that issue before, but it's kind of creating even more mystery because don't know what breaks it. So now it's kind of the question, what is the alternative? Well, one of the alternatives is to make the button manually, so I guess let's just do that, because otherwise it's never going to work. So basically, oh, but will it? Yeah, because if we rewrite the dropdown, we don't take advantage of this logic. But this logic is just I think it's mostly just to load the dropdown in async, but we don't really need that. There is just the logic to change the direction of the dropdown, which we might be missing, but not really needed. So let's just try to implement this manually. So button group. Yeah, let's just try this. Okay. So here we will just keep the original code. Just keep this, and let's call this one new. So let's just manually build the dropdown and see if we can make it work better. So inside of the dropdown, we need, oh, do we need the class? Ah, we might need that class. So here we had a button, just needed this. Okay, so let's put button.component. Do it like this. Ah, I copied. I cut instead of copying. Okay, like this. Next, that code can be reused. That code goes here. Okay, next we need the drop down itself, I guess. We need this. Yeah, but it's not. Not really sure how this is all going to work, but yeah. Oh no, but it has data toggle. Okay, so it should work. Because we have the JavaScript for Bootstrap. Yeah, it's a bit all complicated, but yeah, let's just, don't worry, I'm basically just re-implementing. I'm copying everything I'm copying the template of the split drop down to make my own drop down. Like this. Okay, and finally the children. So how does it work? Button content. Yes, and now get menu, and this creates a drop down with items. And does it use list items? Yes, it uses list items. So can do it like this: ul dot this and list items. I need to import this one from helpers. Okay, and where is it? Here. Can do. Oh, but now I might have issues because I have the list 2 times. Where is the split? What did I do? Where is this? Oh, no, I'm not doing. For now, let's just do it like this. And this goes at the end. Okay. Okay, so this is a try with a re-implementation of the dropdown. Let's see if it works. No, it's already broken. Why is the checkbox outside of? So button group drop down toggle button. Okay, so I'm missing a button here, I guess. Okay, that's better, but we still are missing some stuff. Okay, so the icons. Oh, this was a switch. Okay, just need this. How was it done here? Why do we have two icons? What the hell is that? Not sure what that one is about. Button. Okay, let's try that again. Nope. Where is my icon? It's not showing up. Button caret. Why is it hidden? What? Oh, is it because of the number of items? How is it called again? Item count. Is it because of that? If I say that there are 10 items, does it show up? Nope. How do we make it appear? Button caret display none. Display none. Font size. It's always nice when there are absolutely no commands. Why would button caret be hidden? Don't know. Who did this? Okay, so chop down, display inline. What? How does that work? Chop down split. Oh, I'm missing the chop down split, I guess. Chop down split. Let's try that. Okay. Now let's see if it works. Yeah, it works when I do it like this. I don't know why it's not working when I do it the official way. Why is there an effect when we open the chop down? Damn you! It doesn't work as expected. I don't know why there is that effect on the button. Why? Area expanded. What? What is the difference here? Split drop down button. Oh, maybe I'm missing the split drop down button class. It will work fine when I have everything drop down. What? No, okay. Oh, but I messed up a lot of stuff, I guess. So this should go. Instead, we need this. Okay, now it looks like. Yeah, okay. So I will drop the other code. Let's just drop this. Next, I can actually use the list item here, list items, and use controls. Next, I can rename this, put it here, copy the priority, put it here, and here I also need to array, I guess. can drop this. Okay, just a command to say what we did. We re-implement, or maybe more like we don't use Flarum's split drop down because children of the first button aren't redrawing properly. Okay, and I didn't even check if the buttons do what they should. Why is it not? Let's go here. Okay, now let's. Where is the other button? Oh no! Now Flarum is hiding my first, the first child of the drop down because it's still a split drop down. Oh. I remember I had that issue with another extension. Maybe it was something, or maybe it was with the follow tags extension. Yeah, now I want to show the first child, but I need to override something. Let's just use that. Let's do mass select. Drop down split maybe. What's the code here? So this is a selector to hide the first child. So yeah, we just need this. Display block and only when. Okay, because we don't use the split drop down component, but only its styles. We don't want to hide the first child. Let's see if we see the buttons. Nope. Oh, it's called item mass select. Refresh. Yay! Okay. So now we see all the options. So let's see. So we checked that we can use the button itself. But now let's see if the things here work. Unselect all, select all. No matter what is already selected, here you can choose one or the other. Okay. So, unfortunately, as you see, it took us way too long just to build the component to select things. So we have not been actually able to implement any of the features that will now use that new control. So I guess this will be the subject of the next live stream. Yeah, I expected it to be a bit simpler, but yeah, as you saw, some challenges with building, even just, yeah, basically we just build a UI component today. But the next step is that the state object, where is it? So next step will be this object where right now we only call to know if a discussion is selected. But now we will check, so if any discussion is selected, then we want to show some new actions here. And when you click one of those actions, we will ask for the list of discussions and then do something to each of those selected discussions. And then we might automatically unselect them. I don't know actually in Google if I delete something. Yeah, it unselects. But if I if I follow, oh, so here it stays selected. So there are some actions where you might want to cancel the select state and other I guess there is only the delete state that actually removes the currently selected list. So yeah, but yeah, that's all quite possible. So yeah, let me know if you have any ideas, if you have any questions. I will probably not have time to work on this any time during the week anyway, so maybe you can expect a new live stream next Sunday, and we'll finish this extension. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your comments here or in the Flarum discussion. I will put that code on GitHub. Yeah, I will try to put the code I already have later today probably. And yeah, but we will have to wait for the next stream to actually make it work. Yeah. Yep, that will be all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support those live streams, you can take a look at the links. You can use the Patreon or GitHub sponsors if you want to donate a bit. Or if you have not a lot of money but still want to donate, maybe donate to the Flarum Foundation instead of me. This will also help Flarum directly instead of funding my mini series of videos. But yeah, as you prefer. Yeah, so thank you for watching and see you next week probably. Bye.